Hi guys, hello, good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Murphinda. Now, one of the most nutritious plants on God's green earth are the leafy greens in the form of brassicas. Your cauliflower, your calabrese, cabbages, pak choy, Chinese cabbage, the cruciferous types of vegetables. We love them, they're extremely good for you. And extremely good at making Hulk soup, the powerful Hulk soup that we create. Now, we've got an issue with slugs and other pests down on the Little Farmer's Farm. So what we need to do really is try to prevent damage and deterioration happening through the growing cycle of the leafy greens of the brassicas. And you'll see now Brother Bilo up at the plots talking you through that process. We've got an exciting little experiment that we're going to be conducting as well, using a natural soil-borne parasite which attacks the slugs called NEMASLUG, soil nematodes, which we're going to be looking at a little bit later. But first, let's get up there and see our Bilo, see what he's up to, and he'll talk you through some of the processes that we're going to be doing to actually protect our brassica plants from the pests and soil-borne diseases. All right. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome up to the plots, boys and girls. Now, as my brother's just been telling you, yesterday we began the process of putting the brassica plants in to Bradley's cage, which is our sort of small or low level brassica tent. Now, the reason that the netting's on there is to protect the plants inside, the leafy greens, from the attack of both the pest of pigeons, wood pigeons, so they don't attack them, and also to protect them from the cabbage white butterfly, because the cabbage white butterfly, as we know, is the devil's butterfly. Wood pigeons are the devil's birds, but there's also another little devil called the slug, which is Satan's invertebrate, and it's a plague, it's a pest, especially on these plots. You get the damp conditions, the slugs come out and attack your brassicas. That one's fell over in the wind there. You can see. I'll stand that up. These are going to be going into the ground anyway. So before they go into the ground, with them being brassicas, we've also got another pathogen, which is a soil pathogen called club root. Now, club root attaches itself to the roots of the growing brassica plant, and basically it infects them and makes the roots swell. And it can swell up to the size of your thumb. And when it does that, the pathogen actually retards and reduces the upkeep and the uptake of the nutrition that the plant needs. Brassicas tend to need quite a bit of nitrogen as well. So into that mix, we've got a good general purpose fertilisation in the form of 2 parts blood, fish and bone meal, and also 1 part of the lime, because lime retards the spread of club root, keeps it down, stops it being so prevalent. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig the holes, the planting stations. I'm going to clear out the weeds as we go up at the top there. We've got some bindweed, and we've also got horse's tail, so that's going to be cleared out as I go. And we're going to get these pak choy into the ground, and potentially these red cabbage as well, or at least some of them into the ground. Okay, I think I might well have space actually to get everything in the ground there, but we've got 10 of the pak choy. I certainly want to get those in, and maybe we can even salvage another couple of the pak choy over there. Some of those are looking a bit shot at, as you can see, but certainly these ones that are in the bigger pots we're laughing with. So let's crack on with that. We'll get some in the ground. Okay, so as you can, or as I hope you can see there, I've dug in and loosened the soil to around twice the size of the pot base there, and what that will do hopefully is loosen that soil up, give it some aeration, and then we can add in our amendment in the form of the feed and the lime into that soil mix. But I'm going to scoop that out now, so I'll get the soil out for the time being. You've got to make sure that it's at least as deep as the pot. These roots from fruit bushes that were previously here, so we'll tend to come across them from time to time. We'll just have to snap them out, those. just to make a little bit of room. I'll get this and chop them off like this. As you can see, off they come, chopped off. Get those roots out, and we want them to have enough space below ground level to comfortably spread their wings, so you want it a little bit loose so that the roots have got a chance to do what they need to do. Okay, and then with a teaspoon, which I don't have, I don't know what I've done with my teaspoon, I've left it down there. What we'll do is we'll sprinkle a bit of this mix in and around our growing spot, our planting area. So yeah, that's a third lime and 2/3 bloodfish and bone. And also, because they're a nitrogen lover, I'm going to be adding in a bit of organic chicken manure pellets, a sprinkling of those into the mix. And that'll all be mixed up now with the soil that we've got, in and around, as I say. Mix it all in, mix it all up. Break any lumpy bits up. We know that's an integrated mix, and that'll be used for backfilling then once we plant our plant in to the hole. Needs to be deep enough to cover the depth of the pot. That looks about right. That looks about right to me. The spacings is at least 18 inches between plants, because they do grow quite big, these brassicas. This is a broccoli, or a calabrese, which is in the broccoli family. When you buy your broccoli from the shops and the supermarkets, you'll think that is broccoli, but it's actually called calabrese. The broccoli is thinner and not as fat at the ends, like your purple sprouting broccoli. That's true broccoli. But of course this is a version of it. So we've got the hole in there, and that's going to be deep enough for our plant. Yeah, so just make sure that you're getting that lime in there and the other amendments, because that'll stop the club root. We have got issues with club roots. Everybody's got issues with club root on these plots. Have a look on Google to see what club root is, or I'll put the link below about it. But that's going to be taken out of its pot now and planted in there and then firmed in. Okay, and that's the first one in. So it's the plant was taken out of the pot, placed inside the hole, earthed up around it. So you shove the soil down around it first and then gradually build it up until you get to the top level. What you want is, well, first of all, you don't want bees, because that is something that we're going to be dealing with quite shortly. That's a slug's egg, that. Okay, I'll just squish that off camera to avoid the bellies of the squeamish, but that goes in there. That slug's egg would have hatched and the baby slug would have attached itself to that. We're going to deal with the slugs in a multitude of ways, but we'll get these planted in first. We don't get plagued, or we haven't been so far, with cabbage root fly, so I'm not putting any Brassica collars on just at the moment. What I might do is this weekend cut some Brassica collars from roofing felt and place those around. I'll show you that process later down the line, perhaps this weekend. I've trimmed off or removed the 2 basal leaves from around the bottom of the stem. That's because, well, there's a twofold reason for that. These soon die off and go yellow, and once they do that they will tend to attract the slugs. And the second reason is they're already on the ground, and so they act as a bloody ladder then for the slugs to climb up. So I'll just remove those 2. You can plant them slightly deeper. They like a good firm seat, the Brassica plants, so you make sure that they are well pressed in. But they're underneath the soil, it's loosened, so the roots can spread, as I say, through the lime. So I'm waffling on a little bit there. I'm going to get these cabbages in now, these red cabbages. Again, they need quite a bit of space, so I'm going to give them at least 18 inches between the plants. So the first one's going to go here, right central. And yeah, we're going to work our way along. So I'll catch up with you once I've planted all of the cabbages in. Okay, all our brassicas are in there, and below the ground level there's lime to retard the club root. That one needs to be planted out later on. I just need the space for it, that one, that red cabbage. But I'm going to leave it in here overnight. So we've got all our pak choy in. We've got the kale there, 3 red cabbage at the top, 5 of the, or is it 6? Yeah, it's 6 of the calabrese, and there's another 5 pak choy down that side, the smaller ones. Okay, now our biggest nemesis is the slugs. So back to my brother, he'll tell you a little bit about what we've got coming up. Sorry about that. Ugly little worm parasites. Here's what they do to the slug as they infest it. Sorry about this, guys. Yuck. Now, prepare yourself for this next one, because this is the end result. Mind you, they deserve it, little swines. Let's get back up to the plots and see what he's on about. Catch you in a bit. Yeah, so that was the word from head office. And this is what he was talking about. Slug. Soil nematodes. Effective natural control. Compatible with organic gardening, which we want. Easy to use, just add water. Refrigerate on receipt. Well, I got that today, and it's got to be used before the 8th of June 2021. Because they're a live creature, then obviously they have an expiry date, so you don't want them to be dying off before you've used them. So that's come today, come this morning now, and we're going to be using it straight away. It's from Green Gardener. They're the guys that supplied it to us in Suffolk. There's the address. Now, it was about 26 quid if I remember rightly. That is not cheap, but you should be able to do up to 100 meters, square meters of land with that, and it lasts for up to 6 weeks according to farm. Okay, now what I'll need to do is I'll need to get 10 litres of water in a bucket with something to mix it with, because you've got to stir this vigorously. You add the entire pack in. Right, so there's our opened pack with the nematodes in it. I'm wearing a face covering just because I'm a bit paranoid. They're perfectly fine and safe to use, these particular little wormy parasites. They don't affect us mammals or any other creature according to farm, apart from the slugs. Yes, let's add that in. So I'm going to put that in now to the water, and I'll give them a rinse out. I've got 8.5 litres of water in that bucket there, and I've also got 1.5 litres left behind in the bottle, so that when I add it in, any residues that are left in there, I'm going to rinse that out and tip that in, so I'm not wasting any of the little soldiers that we've got in there. Okay. So that's been vigorously mixed in now, and it's formed a nematode soup, a parasite soup, and that's our stock of 10 litres. Now you've got to use this more or less immediately for full effect. So what we do is we add, it says do it into a 5 litre watering can, but I've got a 10 litre one there. It says add 500 millilitres, which is half a litre, into a 5 litre watering can, but I'm just going to put 2 of those 500s in, so it's a litre into the 10 litre watering can, and get cracking with that. So yeah, it's got a litre of the stock mix of the nematodes in there. I'm topping that off now with a further 9 litres from our water barrels that are naturally harvested from the roof of the tiki hut and collected in these barrels. So they're going to be going into there. So we'll have 10 litres altogether of the application. Soil nematodes, slug nematodes. Fingers crossed it'll work. That little parasite army will be going to work. It's pretty simple, really. All we need to do is apply the liquid to the ground, and the small to medium slugs should perish within days. Following the infestation of our nematode army. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here, and I'm going to water all of the brassicas in and add the inoculation to the soil. God, the strength of me, hey? Put it on the plants as well, get it all around. It's natural. Nematodes are present in nature. It's just that they're not, unless they're abundant, yeah, then you don't have a sufficient population to do the job. I'm going to carry on with that, getting those nematodes into the ground, because it's too difficult to do one-handed, that. So yeah, I'll get down this side, get this side completed. I think two 10-litre watering cans should do the job for this area. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do up to 10 square metres with every 10 litres of that. So let's crack on. Now, as you can tell from this this image before us, the chards had a bit of attention there too, look, from the slugs. So I'm going to inoculate this bed as well. So I've closed the door on the small brassica cage there. I've also applied, I'm going to have to shift that rake there, aren't I? That's a bit of a hazard, isn't it? Shift that. I've also watered, I would say, 1/3 of the beds with the nematodes. So all the ones on this side, basically, up to here, have been watered. And I've also put the nematodes, put that there for a sec, inside the lady farmer's tunnel around the peas and the tomatoes and cucumbers. That's had an inoculation as well, watered up as well while I was here. So that's got these lettuces to plant in this week as well. I'm going to be into planting those lettuces in the tunnel. Tomatoes have grown about twice as high as they were before, so that's working. There's Bradley's crisps. I have to have a really good tidy up in here. There's so many jobs to do, guys. Anyway, let's get back to the ranch. Okay, that's one of the ways that we're going to be dealing with the devil's invertebrate, the slug, this season. We're also going to be doing the beer traps. The beer traps are coming up, along with a couple of other remedies. But we really need to do all we can to keep those pests away from our brassicas. I would say that the brassica family is the most important family of vegetables, really, as regards to health and vitality. So we don't want to lose those. Excuse me. Just had my tea. Don't worry, elf fans. We've got a magical elf episode tomorrow, where Joe's going to be showing us how to care for the grapevine, thin them out, get the best production from the grape, along with a couple of his tips on the way that he produces the comfrey feed, the magical comfrey feed. Okay, for your plants. So stay tuned for that tomorrow evening. But I hope you didn't get too grossed out by that slug episode. Yeah, the nematodes. Catch you next time, boys and girls. You're beautiful. And you're virile if you're a man. Take care of yourselves and each other. I've been Guru Murphinda. I'm signing out now. And like I say, I don't think I'll be doing anything tomorrow apart from uploading the elf video. So if you're an elf fan, you'll enjoy that one with Joe. Take care now. Catch you later, boys and girls. Bye bye.